Good afternoon, members. I, Vipul Kumar Srivastava, Company Secretary of Morpan Laboratories Limited, welcome all the directors, shareholders, and other participants in this 40th annual general meeting of Morpan Laboratories Limited. Members, pursuant to circular issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI, the companies has permitted to hold the annual general meeting through video conferencing or other audio-visual means. Accordingly, this annual general meeting is being conducted through video conferencing mode. Even though such members are aware about the guidelines of joining the AGM through VC, I briefly take through the process. The facility of joining this AGM is being made available on first come first served basis. All members who have joined this meeting are by default placed on mute mode to avoid any disturbance from the background and to ensure smooth and seamless conduct of the meeting. The company has taken requisite steps to enable the members to participate and to vote on the items being considered in this AGM. Since all the members are eligible to join this AGM through video conferencing, therefore, facility to appoint proxy to attend and cast vote is not available for this AGM. The registered office of the company is situated in Himachal Pradesh, shall be the deemed venue for this AGM, and the proceedings of the AGM shall be deemed to be made thereat. During the meeting, the register of directors, KMPs and their shareholdings and register of contract or arrangement in which directors are interested and other documents referred to the notice of AGM are open for inspection electronically. Members may inspect the same. Please note that the proceeding of this meeting is being recorded and transcript of the same shall be uploaded on the website of the company. Before going forward, I would like to introduce the members of the board and other dignitaries who are joining us today through video conferencing mode. Starting with Mr. Sushil Suri, Chairman and Managing Director of the company, being the Chairman of this AGM as per the Articles of Association of the company, joining this meeting from Gurugram.
Good morning and welcome all the shareholders.
Thank you so much, sir. Coming to the next, Mr. Sanjay Suri, Whole-time Director, is attending this meeting from Chandigarh.
Welcome to the meeting.
Welcome, sir. And coming to next, Mr. Praveen Kumar Dutt, an Independent Director and Chairman of Audit Committee, Nomination and Remuneration Committee and Stakeholder Relationship Committee, is attending this meeting from Gurugram. Mr. Praveen Kumar Dutt.
Go ahead, I think.
Moderator, can you connect with him?
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Moving to the next, Dr. Savita, an Independent Director, attending this meeting from Delhi.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am, and welcome to the meeting. Next one, Mr. Ranjit Khattar, an Independent Director, is attending this meeting from Delhi.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the meeting.
Thank you so much, sir. Welcome to the meeting. Moving to the next, Mr. Saraj Jain, an Independent Director, attending this meeting from Delhi.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone.
Welcome, sir. Further, we have with us Mr. Ajay Kumar Sharma, Chief Financial Officer of the company, and Mr. S.P. Babhuta, partner of Messrs. S.P. Babhuta and Associate, statutory auditors of the company, and Mr. Praveen Dua, proprietor of Messrs. PD and Associates, secretarial auditor and also scrutinizer for this AGM. Welcome, sir. Good afternoon. As I am seeing the requisite quorum is present, now I hand over the proceeding to Mr. Sushil Suri, Chairman and Managing Director of the company. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, members. I formally welcome you all to the 40th Annual General Meeting of the company. And now I would like to take an opportunity to thank all the shareholders for this invaluable support, auditors and other participants for joining this AGM through video conferencing mode. Since the requisite forum is present, I call the meeting to order. Can we go ahead?
Yeah, yes, sir, we can.
Good. Dear members, the notice of the AGM along with the annual report comprising of financial statements, auditor reports, director reports and annexures have been circulated on 12th August 2025 through email, and physical copies have been sent to those members who have requested for the same. The annual report has also been placed on the website of the company, stock exchanges and NSDL for easy access. Please note that statutory auditors, secretarial auditors of the company have expressed unqualified opinion in the audit report for the financial year 2025. Therefore, with your permission, members, I take the said reports along with the notice as read. And coming to the business, dear shareholders, it's with immense pride and deep sense of gratitude that I am before you today to present the company's annual performance. But before we go to the annual performance, I must compliment that, okay, today we are meeting on a very important and very auspicious day. I'm sure that the whole town is banged with Ganpati Bappa Moria, and today as we say goodbye to Ganpati for the blessings, and we all wait for all the blessing whole of the year from him. So today on this auspicious day, before we get into the business, we have two important things to share with you, which is again I would say more of blessings. So the first thing is that your company, with your permission today, we are putting to vote that company is declaring dividend after almost a gap of 23 years. So it was in financial year 2002-2003 we had declared dividend. So now we are back to you for approval of the dividend. Of course, it is 20 paisa per share at a face value of 2 rupees. So it is almost 10% dividend. It's a small beginning, small start. But there was a long pending demand from the shareholders and of course from all the quarters. So the company is improving, we are coming out of the red and the cash flows are better. So we are declaring a dividend. So that's the first news. And second news, which you all might have read in the newspaper by now, I think the major news what we all have noticed is the next generation reforms of the tax, the GST. GST was implemented almost 8 years ago, and we were all approaching various forums of the government to the right corridors that okay, there are some inverted structures and why the drugs have to be taxed, why the life has to be taxed, because the fundamental right is that health, particularly I would say, and I'm not talking about other sectors presently, health is a sector that you cannot pay for health. Health is not a privilege, health is your right. So we cannot be taxed for living. So they always say that you should tax the luxury and not tax the lifeline. So I think it's a big thing now today, and these reforms which have come a day before yesterday. So these reforms are not just notional reforms or rationalization of structures or simplification. These are landmark reforms, and I would say these are historical. And this has set the pace for the coming years or the coming decades, that how government is looking for to make India a healthy nation. So because the moment we say we are paying tax on everything, you're paying tax on insurance, you're paying tax on your credit card, you're paying tax on almost everything, but for God's sake, health should not be taxed. And particularly for the patients who are suffering with life-threatening diseases like cancer. So government has removed all the GST on that. There is 0% tax on that for any companies who are into that trade, and so they would certainly have to pass on, and I think it's a good boom for the industry and for the patients most importantly. Second, I think is that the government has removed one slab at all. Most of the medicines were 12%, and some medical devices and even some drugs were 18%. So now government has removed the 12% slab, all the medicines are at 5% slab. So that's a good news for the industry, good news for the patients. So temporarily there may be some logistics issues, but as friends you would understand that within a month or so you'll come back. Even when GST was implemented, there was a lot of hue and cry, but finally it is a successful thing. So what we see now is that with a 5% tax, the medicines are going to be cheaper, 5 to 7%. But more importantly, what I see is that, like I already said, that health is not a privilege, health is not a luxury, it's a right. And many a time the poor guy who doesn't have a shelter on his head, or maybe he's sleeping on the roadside, or he's just barely covering his household expenses, he cannot pay for the medicines. So now at least he can pay for the medicines, he can take good care of his health. And that way I would say these reforms are not only the tax reforms, these reforms are like healthcare reforms. Government has given health to everybody, and going with the visions of Modi ji's, who want to make a healthy India. And of course there has been an Ayushman Bharat scheme, there have been Jan Aushadhi, and there have been consistent efforts of the government that more and more people should have access to health. I think we are right there, and we are meeting at the right time. And I think going specifically to details, medical devices is another thing, wherein glucometer, BP monitor, where we are market leaders at both places, that has been reduced from 12% to 5%. And small little thing, thermometer was at 18%. It's a laughing point that thermometer was considered luxury. So now at least it is at 5%. So you can afford to buy a thermometer, on the lighter side I'm saying. So, but the whole point is that we can see that government positive attitude toward pharma industry and healthcare as a whole is important. And I have a strong belief that once you have a better compliance, once you have a better testing, whether it is glucometers, BP monitors, thermometers, once you have better compliance, better testing, so the health of the people will start improving in general. Cost of the medicine is further going down, hospitalization will reduce, and more importantly, once hospitalization reduces, insurance also will be comfortable. So we are looking for a healthy India, and with increasing stress, with increasing, I would say, problems coming in life, we need to save some money for future also, and keep investing. So wishing all of you again happy, healthy blessings from Ganpati today. So I think we should switch to business now. Can you switch on the presentation, please? Yes. So friend, this year we are showing you the presentation live here. So I think it's skipping too fast. Yeah. I think the presentation is skipping on its own. Yes, can you see the presentation? I'm sure everybody can see. Yes. So dear friends, so we have two type of business, and as you already know that we are primarily into the pharma business, where 73% of the business come from pharmaceuticals, wherein we have medicines, APIs the bulk drugs, wherein we manufacture the basic source, then we make the formulation, tablets, capsules, syrups, that's we loosely and consolidatedly called a pharma as formulations. So that business is around 73% of the company, and another 27% is medical devices. This is the last year numbers. Quarter on quarter this thing keep varying. Sometimes medical devices become higher, some become it goes 27%, 28%, 29%, sometimes 30%, but over a longer period of time medical devices is growing, and pharma business, of course, the focus is to have more of medical device growth, because the growth in medical device is higher. Pharma business has been growing at a CAGR of between 15 to 18%. Medical device business has been growing at a CAGR between 25 to 30%. So we have a good case here. So these are the two. Out of 1830 crores, 27% is medical device. Now coming specifically to the company's positioning, most of it you know, but for the new shareholders who have joined for the first time today, we are a 40-year-old company, and of course this is the 40th annual general meeting of the company, and we are market leaders for 6 APIs, which we are global leaders. We are exporting to 80 plus countries. 72% of the business of the company is exports. Exports mean hardcore good currency export, dollar exports, and major currencies. We are market leaders for BP monitors and glucomonitors, and of course we have a fully integrated backward integration for both pharmaceuticals also and for medical devices also. Our focus is on increasing the formulation business, which are a field force in the market, And of course, we have a strong portfolio of the consumer drugs. That's broadly the positioning of the company. And if we look at the overall picture of the consolidated revenue of the company has increased 7.5%, 7.4% last year, from 1700 crores to 1830 crores. And of course, during the last quarter, it had increased almost 10%. So this is on a consolidated basis, but we'll discuss more when we come to the individual businesses. Coming specifically to the pharma business, which remains our core. So here again we have a friend interestingly a split of 73 and 27. 73% of the pharma business is coming from API, which is our core, which we started back in 1984, and we have some 40 odd drugs here, and that's 73% business. 23% business here comes from the formulation, wherein we make tablet capsules, we manufacture, we visit the doctor. So that's the formulation business. That's 1334 crores is the total business. So this business, pharma business per se has grown by 5.8%, and of course during the last quarter it grew 8.5% from 1251 to 1334 crores. So here we have friends 6 products where we are market leaders. There are 3 products where we are number 1 worldwide: loratadine, desloratadine. These are both antihistamine drugs, anti-allergic drugs. And there's another drug, respiratory anti-allergy, Montelukast. There also we are number 1. Here we got 70 to 80% market share, 67 to, I would say 67 to 81% market share in the global market out for exports out of India. And there are 2 statins which are cholesterol reducing drugs, atorvastatin and rosuvastatin, where we are number 4. And there's another anti-allergy drug, fexofenadine, where we are number 3. So broadly speaking, these 6 drugs make around 88% of the pharmaceutical market of ours. And then we have new molecules where we have range of diabetic products, sitagliptin, linagliptin, dapagliflozin, empagliflozin, saxagliptin, ertugliflozin. And there are cardiac drugs. I don't want to bore you with the names, but there are apixaban, edoxaban, rivaroxaban. We launched 2 new products last year, ticagrelor, bempedoic acid. And we launched a new revolutionary drug, resmetirom, last year. And then there are a couple of more drugs which are in the list. And of course, then there are a lot of drugs which are under development. You can see it in the screen, which are more of cancer and new age drugs: baricitinib, tafasitinib, bilastine, finerenone, rupatadine, caripiprazole. So these are the drugs which we are already at a pilot scale. But I don't want to bore you with the technical thing. Here friends, interesting thing is that the new molecules, so revenue of the new molecules and the new products is increasing. As I shared that 6 products we are market leaders, but the new product share is growing up from 8% in 22, it has gone to 12.3% last year, FY25, and there's a 4.2% increase. And when we talk of the product revenue also, the revenue also has gone up almost 60% or more in this last 3 years in the new molecules. Then as I shared earlier that we are primarily focused on exports on API, and we are intentionally reducing our share in the domestic market. So export share has gone up from 64 to 72%, so almost 7.5% increase in the exports in last 3 years. So of course it is a bit dicey issue that the global markets have been shaking, there have been a geopolitical situation, there have been wars, and I would say economic crisis in multiple parts of the country, in multiple parts of the world, but our exports have increased thanks to our team and dedicated efforts by the R&D team in supplying the new products. And in the value terms also, the export value has gone more than 20% in last 3 years. So coming specifically to the exports market, and of course we loosely say 80 countries, normally it is 85 to 86 countries now. We have 500 customers which we are exporting to them worldwide. Here friends, the interesting point is 60% of the business comes from repeat customers. So this is what our strength is. The last 25 years we have been able to nurture so good a relationship with the customers that we do not have to, I would say, go back and forth to find a new customer every time. So 60% of the customer, there is a repeat business. And of course, we always enjoy good relationships with the team, with the customers, because thanks to a beautiful team and a very experienced team what we have. And as you would say here in the graph side on the side, US market is only 15%. So it is 15% of the total exports what we have, so around 72%. So total US market are 150 crores out of 1800 crore. So our dependence on US is only 6 to 7%. So we are very, I would say, well diversified and very mature market in different segments. It is well segmented. So we are not dependent on US much. So this is the region wise, I would say US market, even though there have been fluctuations in the policies and everything, but we have not lost any market. We are almost same US market previous year and this year. Europe market has certainly gone up, and India market, as I shared earlier, we are intentionally reducing our focus because of the price parity. And APAC market of course has been growing. Other market, MENA and South America, they are almost flat. This is a country-wide position, and coming specifically to the overall revenue, API business has grown 3.5%. Quarterly, of course, it has grown 4%. Here, friends, interesting thing I want to share with you is that the business of the company has gone up 57% in terms of the volume. We have produced 57% more quantity as compared to FY23, from F23 to 25. But in price terms, the prices have come down almost 24%. So this is what I would say the last 2-3 year impact of the price fluctuation in China and global scenario. The prices are not increasing, the raw material prices have gone up, and sales prices are coming down. So there is a pressure on the margin which we are working, and overall revenue has gone up by 6 to 7% in spite of everything, 19% I think. So now coming to the capacities, as friends you might be knowing that last year we had done a QIP for increased investment in the machineries and increasing the capacities. FY23 we had 300 kiloliters of capacity, then it was increased to 400 KL last year, and then now we are working on increasing more. Already 514 kiloliters on FY25 March. And of course, as we speak, more machines are being installed, and 600 KL capacity will be completed by end of the year, which will be almost double than what we were at FY23. So of course, this is our I would say effort which R&D have been doing day in day out. We have 168 patents which we have filed internationally. 55 scientists are working day and night to deliver what our customers want. We have 325 drug master files all over the world, and 27 of them are in US and Europe. There are 48 new products which our R&D team have churned out, and of course then there are 30 new products of the finished dosage which our team has developed. And of course you all know that last couple of years we have never got any bad report from FDA. We have nil 483, which is a FDA inspection report, nil observation from FDA from last 3 consecutive FDA reports, FDA inspections. And of course, as we speak, we are increasing our chemistry skills regularly. All our plants, API plants, are inspected and approved by all the global authorities. US FDA, which is from US, and from Europe there is EDQM, then Japan PMDA, and Visa from Brazil, NMPCA from China, then Korea, of course WHO, the GMP from India, and for medical devices, friends, we are approved by the ISO 13485. So all the plants are up to date and global standards. So as I shared earlier that we are increasing our focus on the finished dosage, so the revenue is also increasing. Finished dosage revenue has gone up 21% in last 3 years. We had till last year 200 medical representatives, and the idea is to take it to 400 by March 26. We are already at 340, 350 as we speak, and of course there will be addition every year, and 1000 people more would be added in the next 3 years time. This is a ongoing process. We shared earlier through a press release also that this first time in India we have launched a product Resmetirom, which is a drug for the liver, fatty liver. This is usually called non-alcoholic fatty liver. So wherein people have fatty liver not because of alcohol but for some other technical reason. So we have got approval from drug authorities, CDSCO, Central Drug Authorities, and we are working on the bioequivalence studies. We have got a permission to conduct the bioequivalence studies, so we are working towards completing the process. These are our prime formulation brands, wherein we have some anti-infectives, Soltum, Cefepime, Claritin. Then on gastro range, we have got good product, Dom DT. Intibact is our probiotic, which is a proprietary drug. And Udofix we launched this March only, last 2-3 months ago, and it is growing fast. It will become a good size product within 2 years' time. Acifix we launched a draft format. Then in the multivitamins we got Rhythmix, Compact, Rycomore. On the cardia side also we launched a couple of new products, Ticapen, Apixamore, Empamore. So these are the drugs which are, I would say, customer favorite and doctor favorite these days. And now friends, coming to medical devices, and this is a hot topic everywhere, including when we talk of this GST reforms about medicine. They have just mentioned general, but about medical devices they are specifically said by name, glucometers and glucometer strips and thermometers. So it looks like government is looking positively at all these things. So here in medical devices, friends who do not know, so we are number 1 and market leader in case of glucometers. We are number 1 market leader for BP monitors. For last 25 years we have been serving this industry, and last 10 years we are doing our own manufacturing, friends. So we have 14 million, this is as on 31st March, 14 million users of glucometers in the country. We have installed these number of meters and people buy strips over it. We have fully integrated, fully backward integrated facilities. We have all India distribution, and of course the facilities are approved by ISO. This is the best combination what we could have: top ranging product, own manufacturing, own distribution, best facilities approved by ISO, and of course we are looking for major growth in this sector. So these are the common products. I'm sure you can see it on the screen. Glucometer, BP monitor. Last year we launched nebulizer, rather relaunched. Then we have thermometers and ortho supports. There are multiple range. You can see just 2 products here: neck support, back support, knee support, ankle supports. So then stethoscopes for the doctors, and of course some pregnancy kits. The revenue of the medical devices have been growing very good. Last year it grew 12%, last quarter it grew 15%. And in terms of the number of meters installed, as you can see, last year we sold 11.1 glucometers. Now this year it is 14.2, and then it is number of strips from 36 crores to 41 crores. So annual revenue of glucometers is up 12%. So this is the overall picture of glucometers. We have 15.3 million glucometers in the market, which is like 1.53 crores. So here, friend, I would like to give you a little background that the total diabetic market of India is expected to be 10 crores, which is like 100 million. So out of 10 crores, 1.53 crore meters are ours, and I would say almost similar amount you can say from competition, or maybe around 4 million meters in the market. 4 crore meters in the market. So you can see out of 4 crore we are at 1.53, it is around 35-40% market. But this market is only a fraction of the market as compared to the total diabetic population. Maybe I think the country needs 5 to 10 years more to reach to every single consumer. So most of the medicine is not, most of the customers are not addressable. So people do not have reach, and maybe the price is one factor, distribution and reach is another factor. But as a company we are working hard to reach to more and more consumers. And as you would see it on the right hand side, 2.1 billion glucose strips have been sold. This is the number of tests which our meters have already conducted. So many people have already been benefited by this. Then this is about BP monitor. This has grown 12%. Last quarter it has gone 14%. I'm catching some speed looking at the time. So of course we are increasing capacity of glucometer strips and BP monitors, and last year we had some QIP money which is being invested here also. And now looking at the major growth drivers for this market. So here, friends, the major point here is that medical devices market is growing because of multiple reasons. One, of course, is increasing health awareness. Thanks to internet, thanks to COVID, everybody is concerned about health, everybody wants to check their health, everybody wants to check the parameters. Parents are being under pressure from the kids to get get the regular testing done for BP or even for glucometers. Then of course there is a growing concern also. There is an awareness and there is a concern, both things are there. And secondly, with the growing economy and support of the government, the disposable income is increasing, so more and more people are spending on health. And thanks to technology, more and more devices have come up, more and more digital devices have come up, better tests have come up, so that's where it is going to increase. Globally, this medical device is a big business, $234 billion, where India is expected to be 50 billion by 2030. So growing at CAGR of 12.7%, but India has got a large population base, and it is expected that the total diabetic population in 212 million, wherein as we shared earlier, we are in decimals only. 62% of the market is untapped. So this is one issue, that these untapped market will slowly get tapped. So I see this 62% market as an opportunity. Here, as a part of the digital effort, we have launched an app wherein you can log in your reading, BP or glucose in the app, and you can scan it, read it, take a photo or text. So this will keep a record, it will give you graphs, it will give you alerts. This is just an effort toward digitalization. These are the few things which we have been doing for increasing our reach in the markets. We have our products present in Thailand, Qatar, Oman under Dr. Marpin brand, wherein we have local distributors who are distributing the products under our brand name. Then we are working on other market, US, Kenya, Malaysia, wherein Kenya, Malaysia again will be through distributors, but US maybe with the big chains. So even though in the latest tariff war, which is played between big boys, so medicines are not covered, but still we are conscious of the fact that in case there are any tariffs, so we do not get affected much. So that's all about the overall business. Just to give you a quick review of the financial. So last year the revenue grew 7.5% and EBITDA grew 11.5% from 10.3% to 10.5%. PAT, which is profit after tax, grew from 97 crores to 118 crores, around 22% increase in the PAT. So the PAT percentage from 5.9 to 6.5%. So overall happy ending, and today we are at a situation that, okay, looking at these numbers, so we are proposing to you to approve the dividend so that we get something in the money, something in the pocket. These are our 4 manufacturing facilities. We have multi-integrated facility at Baddi, then at Masool Khana, which is our first plant where we started. Parwanu we started in 96 with the formulation plant. There was another formulation plant. These are in industrial area, there are small plots, but Baddi and Masool Khana are big. Baddi is like 60 acres of land parcel, and this is just a one shot of the Baddi's facility. It's an old picture. That's all from my side on the business. So overall, I would say the future is bright, and with your continued support, partnership, Marpin will not only grow but thrive. Thank you very much. Now may I request the company secretary to give details about the voting process?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Dear members, in accordance with the provisions of Companies Act 2013 and the listing regulations, the company had provided remote e-voting facility to its member through NSDL. The remote e-voting period commenced on 3rd of September 2025 at 9 am and concluded on 5th of September 2025 at 5 pm. Members who have not exercised their vote through remote e-voting may cast their vote during this meeting through e-voting facility available on NSDL e-voting page. The e-voting platform is currently open and will remain accessible up to 15 minutes after the conclusion of this meeting. Since this annual general meeting is conducted through video conferencing and all resolutions stated in the notice of AGM have already put to vote through e-voting, therefore, there will be no proposing or seconding of the resolutions during the meeting. As informed earlier, Mr. Praveen Dua, Company Secretary in practice, is present at this meeting as a scrutinizer to oversee the vote cast through remote e-voting and e-voting during the AGM. Immediately after conclusion of this meeting, the scrutinizer will unblock the votes and prepare a consolidated report of the total votes cast in favor or against, if any. The results of the voting will be declared within 48 hours of the conclusion of this AGM and will be placed on the company's website and website of NSDL and also communicated to the stock exchanges. The company has also provided members with the opportunity to register themselves as speakers to share their queries or views. In this regard, the 15 members had requested to register as speakers, out of which only 3 members submitted their details and queries in advance as prescribed in the notice of the AGM. I am requesting the speaker shareholder to switch on their video and close background applications and use headphone for better connectivity and clarity. During the process, if the speaker is unable to join through video, he or she may participate through audio mode. If connectivity issues arises at the speaker ends, the next speaker will be invited, and once the connectivity improves or at the end of all the sessions, the earlier speaker may be called once again. Alternatively, their query may be read out on their behalf and addressed by the chairman, or may be replied to through the email as well. Speakers are kindly requested to limit their speech to a maximum of 3 minutes only, so that all the registered speakers and members get a fair opportunity to speak. Before proceeding further, I seek the permission of the chairman to continue. Sir, may I go ahead?
Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, sir. During the process, I am just switching to the first speaker, Mr. Vinesh Chandra. Being a registered speaker, yeah.
Mr. Vinesh, please unmute yourself.
Your voice is not clear to us.
Am I audible?
Yes, please. Yeah, Vinesh, we can hear you.
Good afternoon to all. Myself Vinesh Chandra, attending this meeting through VC from Gurugram. At first, I would like to thank you give me a chance in this platform, and thank you, Chairman sir, for explaining about the company's performance and for such an informative presentation. Sir, some of the questions I would like to ask that the company has shown steady growth over the past year. What are the key drivers behind this success, and how do you plan to sustain it? Second, the dividend declared this year reflects strong profitability, and do you foresee maintaining or enhancing this payout trend in the future also? My third question, previous year the company has raised funds via QIP for expansion and development of manufacturing facilities at Baddi and Maskukhana. Can you provide a status update on these projects? And at last, is the company considering raising additional funds in the near future? If yes, what modes of funding are being explored? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vinesh Chandra. Now I request to the next speaker, Mr. Om Prakash Kejriwal. Please unmute himself and allow your video to broadcast and proceed with your question. Moderator, please allow him.
Mr. Kejriwal, please unmute yourself.
Hello, moderator, can you give me the video link?
Sir, we have already given.
Okay. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, Mr. Kejriwal, we can hear you.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, Sanjay.
Good afternoon. Namaskar.
Good afternoon, everybody attending this AGM. Myself, Om Prakash Kejriwal, Deputy Shareholder from Kolkata, a city of joy. Thank you, Sanjay, for providing me the platform to speak something before you. Thanks to our Secretary Department for helping me registration as a speaker shareholder. Sanjay, this is my fifth meeting with you. 4 AGM and 1 EGM. Only due to virtual. Though I am a very old shareholder from the time of IPO. So if possible, please follow this virtual AGM in next year also, so that more and more investors from different parts of the world could join our AGM and express their views, and company could take benefit from their views.
That's right.
So firstly, I want to thank you people for accepting my request for dividend distribution. Thank you, sir, for announcing a dividend at the rate of 20 paisa per share after 25 years. Sir, our India is growing, population of our country is growing, and so our company is also growing. In consolidated account, our revenue has grown to rupees 1,811 crore. Previously, it was rupees 1,690 crore. Our net profit has grown to 118 crore. Previously, it was rupees 96 crore. And so our EPS has grown to 2.20 on face value of rupees 2. Previously, it was rupees 1.88. In annual account, our EPS has down to rupees 1.90 compared to previous year it was rupees 2.17. Our first quarter, that is June quarter of financial year 25-26 is not good. In national account, our EPS is down to 50 paisa compared to 69% corresponding quarter of previous year. And in consolidated account, our EPS is down to 20 paisa compared to 71% corresponding quarter of previous year. So what is the reason for such less profit? And what is your expectation for the remaining 3 quarters? Do we get any benefit after GST reduction announced on Wednesday? So the last year you transferred the branded formulation RX business to Morphen RX Limited on 22nd August 23. Again in February 25, you propose to transfer our medical device business to Morphen Medtech Limited for rupees 181 crore. Again in August 25, our subsidiary Dr. Morphen Limited sold 9.17 crore share at the rate of 20% to Broomtown Private Limited. And after this sale, our holding in Dr. Morphen Limited reduced from 80% to 19.94%. Now Dr. Morphen Limited is not our subsidiary, sir. Sir, it is not fair, sir. Sir, all these transactions are not good for the minority shareholders. In my opinion, I have requested in the last EGM on 10th February 25, please issue all company shares to all the shareholders of Morphen Limited, of Morphen Laboratory Limited in proportionate basis and list them in the share market. It will unlock our value and you will get more and more shares, sir. Sir, please do not ignore the minority shareholders. It is my humble request to you, sir, again and again. Minority shareholder can only grow, majority shareholder can only grow along with minority shareholder, sir. Sabka saath, sabka vikas. I am giving you a few examples, sir. One first example, Bharat Forge Limited, Baba Kalyani Group from Pune gave 2 more company shares after demerger. BF Investment Limited, BF Utilities Limited. Second example, Zydus Life Science Limited from Gujarat gave 1 more company shares of Zydus Wellness Limited. Third example, Reliance Industries Limited, one of the most big companies, sir. Dhirubhai Ambani, which was one time salesman in petrol pump and selling petrol pump, उन्होंने जो है फंड इकट्ठा करके कंपनी बनाई और टेक्सटाइल से रिफाइनरी से गारमेंट से अभी क्या हाल है, जियो टेलीकॉम, रिटेल, क्या क्या उनके पास नहीं है, सभी एक कंपनी के अंदर है। उनका टर्नओवर है सर 9.6 लाख करोड़, एक ही कंपनी के अंदर है, रिलायंस इंडस्ट्रीज लिमिटेड। उन्होंने 4 कंपनियों का शेयर दिया कोरोना के पहले और अभी एक कंपनी का शेयर दिया जियो फाइनेंस का लिमिटेड। उसके बाद ही वो कंपनी ग्रो कर रही है सर। एक अरविंद लिमिटेड फ्रॉम गुजरात गेव 3 more company shares, अनूप इंजीनियरिंग, अरविंद फैशन, अरविंद स्मार्ट। एक लुपिन फार्मा सर, क्लास टीचर के बेटे थे गुप्ता जी, उन्होंने फंड इकट्ठा करके कंपनी बनाई और आज वो कंपनी देखिए उनके बेटे चला रहे हैं। पहले 100 रुपए का शेयर चलता था 10 रुपए का, आज 2 रुपए का शेयर 2000 रुपए दाम है सर। उसमें फार्मा है, डायग्नोस्टिक है, ओटीसी पोर्टफोलियो है। Sir, I am holding all these company shares and I am regularly interacting with their management. You can see after demerger, all the companies grow more and more. You can do Google, sir, and you can check my words. There are few more examples, sir. I can give you some more examples. So, sir, it is my humble appeal to you. Do not leave minority shareholders. You will progress more if you keep minority shareholders along with your journey, sir. These are some of my observations. Please think over it, sir. सर जी आपकी बैलेंस शीट है सर, कम से कम 500 रुपए का दाम होना चाहिए। अगर आप ठीक से काम करें तो इसका दाम 500 रुपया होना चाहिए सर। मेरा बात आप आज लिख के रख लीजिए। अगर आप ठीक से काम करेंगे आपका दाम 500 रुपये क्रॉस करेगा। अब बहुत अंडर वैल्यू है आपका, अंडर प्राइस शेयर चल रहा है।
Thank you, sir.
Maintain your smile and reach your goal. We are always with you as a long investor. Thank you.
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Om Prakash Kejriwal. Now I am requesting to the next speaker and the being last speaker, Mr. Praveen. Please unmute himself and allow your video to broadcast and go ahead with your question. Moderator, please connect with Mr. Praveen.
Mr. Praveen, please unmute yourself. Mr. Praveen?
Hello, I am audible, sir.
Yes, Mr.
A very, very good afternoon to my respected chairperson, respected board of directors, my fellow shareholder, myself, Praveen Kumar, joining this meeting from New Delhi. I have few observations which I love to share with the entire house. But before that, sir, in this financial year, this is our first online interaction with the management. So I wish the entire management team, each and every dedicated employee of our company, a happy, healthy, and prosperous future. Coming down to my observation, due respect to my earlier speaker Kejriwal sir, I am also with the company since IPO, and I have the deepest respect for you, sir. Your annual address to the shareholder, very, very informative for a retail investor. Thank you very much. आप जब भी बोलते हैं सर दिल से बोलते हैं, after that excellent presentation. God bless you for that, sir. And you are always smiling. I pray to God that you will be smiling, healthy and happy, and creating sustainable value creation for a retail investor like me, sir. And I wholeheartedly support all the resolutions which you set out for the notice today. And due respect to my earlier speaker, they asked many healthy questions, so I don't want to repeat them. But yes, one more thing, for a retail investor like me, the litmus test of any listed entity is the communication between the company and the retail investor. In this regard, sir, I have to thank our respected company secretary and his entire team. Sir, even during the course of year, if you want any update about the company, that will be promptly replied. He is the biggest asset as far as the company is concerned, sir. We are always welcome with our queries and update that truly boost our morale as far as our investment in the company is concerned, sir. Sir, at the end, yes, I also, this year it was like historical year. After so many years, the first time you declared dividend. God bless you for that. It's a good start. And yes, as far as the demerger of our 2-3 verticals, which Mr. Kejriwal mentioned, if the management thought possible, viable, so do that. My best wishes is always there for you. At the end, sir, I just pray to God that He will bless you with all the prosperity, so that He will keep the momentum of creating sustainable value creation for a retail investor like you. And thank you very much for this opportunity. God bless you. Jai Hind, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Praveen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sir, with this question, we are ending up our session. Sir, request to take up the questions.
First of all, I would like to thank all the participants who have come prepared for the questions, and particularly the long list of questions. Of course, I was thinking Mr. Chandra has got 4 questions. I think Mr. Kejriwal has got almost 10 points. I'm happy that someone is spending time on us. So that's very good. So coming to Mr. Chandra's question first. So Vinesh Chandra. So I think that's a very valid point to begin with. What are the key drivers of growth? So last year growth, of course, it was very clear that the growth is coming from all corners. No doubt the growth in the API was a bit muted, around 4%, but medical devices grew on around 12% and formulation grew around 15%. So all 3 sectors were growing. So the interesting question is the growth sustainable? I think that's a valid point. That API growth, nominal growth, of course 4-5% growth is not a big deal, so we will always be able to sustain. But obviously we are looking for more growth for API, which we are not seeing immediately. So because of the disturbed Q4, rather Q3 onward, since the time the US was disturbed, and of course there was something happening in Europe, Q4, then Q3, Q4, even Q1 was almost washed out. Now again, because of this whole tariff story, the whole world is a bit disturbed on exports particularly. So we are thinking that probably we may not grow API at that speed, but finished dosage market is growing, domestic market is growing, medical devices growing, because that major business is in India only. So we are happy, and the growth drivers are all sustainable. And then I think the next question, which is more of a wish, that okay, dividend has come up, and do we foresee dividend will be able to increase and continue? We all pray for that, and I always say that, like you, I am also a shareholder, so we all wish we are working together for this whole big thing, and we'll keep on paying the dividend, and how much would again depend on the cash flows, and we'll come back to you next year what kind of dividend we offer. So next I think is on the QIP program and expansion. So as I broadly explained, there were two areas of QIP. One was the API, and second was the medical devices, and of course third of course was small working capital part. Working capital is going in routine and has been spent. On the API part, around 70% of the money has been spent and the capacities are being created. Some building work is over, some machineries have come. By end of this year, all the API part will be over. Medical devices, there is one project still a bit slow because of the global scenario, but by end of the year, all the projects will be completed. We had planned for 18 months, but it may not be 18 months, by within 15 months we may be able to do that. So, but it's on track. And the last question is an interesting question: do we need more funds? I would say we all need more funds, but we do not have any immediate public plan to raise any capital, because not because that we don't have to grow, we don't want to grow, but I think we should wait for the global scenarios to settle, things to settle. But in the meantime, companies working on new projects, new R&D initiatives, and a lot of activities are happening. So as you would see when I reply Mr. Kejriwal's questions, a lot happening around various things, and at whatever level fundraising is required, so we will come back. So I hope I have answered all the questions of Mr. Chandra. Thank you, Mr. Chandra, for spending time on preparing for us. And then I can reply to Mr. Praveen. I think most of the points were on retail investors, and of course most of the points were hinted again at Mr. Kejriwal. So thank you, Praveen ji. So now I come to Mr. Kejriwal, so which is, he said that it's the 5th meeting, but I would say he had been attending all AGMs, online, offline. So he is one of the oldest shareholders in the company. So that's a very good welcome, Mr. Kejriwal. So here I think the major point, first point he has raised other than the facts is that why is the June quarter profitability down? As I shared with you that there are two major things. One of course is the global factors, wherein export orders are a bit delayed. I won't say that they are not there. Export orders are delayed because earlier people were keeping regular inventories, regular pricing, and of course regular scheduling and dispatches were there. Now because of the disturbance, because of the price fluctuations from China, because of the global uncertainty, nobody is keeping stocks. So everybody is in a wait and watch. So more of business has come on a spot basis than on a long term basis. In general, for example, if some company places order 2 months in advance, 3 months in advance, now nobody is doing advance ordering. So that's why there is a slowdown. So it may be temporary, but we have to wait for the right thing. But ultimately, so long as human beings will remain, medicines will remain, demand will remain. So there is no dearth of demand, but sometimes one product shift to another product, sometimes there is a temporary blip, but overall there is nothing wrong, and these are temporary issues, and when the market improves we are able to recover much faster. So second interesting point is GST reduction, where there would be a benefit. I would say absolutely all companies would get benefit, and more importantly is our customers would get benefit, patients will get benefit, doctors will get benefit, insurance companies will get benefit. So it's an overall, as I shared earlier, that it's not a tax reform, it's a healthcare reform, it's a healthcare gift, and the government has shown very clearly the intention that we should tax the luxury, not the lifeline. So now lifeline cannot be taxed, you cannot be taxed to live. So that's, I think, an interesting thing. So then coming about the various restructuring which are happening. So that I would say in a broader sense, I am not talking very specific. So Mr. Kejriwal, what's happening is that we are a pharma company, and as a pharma company 40 years ago we started as an API company, bulk drugs company. So as we go forward, and of course at some stage, at some level of management and some level of top line and team, so you can manage the house within a given system. But now the size of the company is growing, we need better skills, better management. So API has become a core focus and remains a core focus. So whatever does not fall into that API and R&D, API, the core story is R&D. R&D, and of course you need a good business development team, that's it. But business development team also cannot do much, primarily things is of R&D. So we want to focus on Morpen as a parent company to focus on R&D and remains core API company, and that is what is our investors are looking from us, that is what our stakeholders are looking for us, that okay, what does Morpen do? Morpen cannot be doing API and formulation and RX and OTC and medical devices. So because investors in the market, 40 years ago market was different. Now after 40 years markets have changed. Investors are specialized. Someone who is investing in API, he is not investing in devices. Someone who is investing in consumer goods, he is not interested to listen to, for example, medical devices. Or more people are interested in medical devices than, for example, say R&D. So these are different set of investors. So we are restructuring and realigning the whole company within the given framework so that we are more approachable to institutional investors. And as you would see, our institutional holding is very minimal. It's only decimals, 1 or 2%. So we are looking to prepare the company for the next phase, and I usually call it Morpen 2.0. As Morpen 2.0, we want to be very focused, dedicated, clean and clear picture that this is what it is. So temporarily we will feel some gaps here and there, and specifically touching, for example, RX business. We separated RX business because that's a sales focus, and you would already see that the moment we made it a separate company, we immediately started announcing its growth plan. That now as Morpen RX, we are increasing the manpower, we are taking it to the next level, because when RX business is sitting in the parent company, so it doesn't have a focus, it doesn't have a clarity, it doesn't have its own targets. You are sitting under the tree with an umbrella. So, but if you already have an umbrella, we would say go and walk. So, and taking a lighter example, केजरीवाल जी जब बच्चा थोड़ा बड़ा हो जाता है उसको बोला जाता है भाई इंडिपेंडेंट चलो जाओ अपना जिंदगी ढूंढो. So we cannot remain under shelter every time. So that's what is happening with RX. So on the medical devices, we had already planned that okay, we'll shift the medical device business to a separate company. So here we had already considered the demerger process, and most of you would know that demerger process is a court process. So looking at the priorities of the company and looking at the overall picture that we are a 40-year-old company and medical devices market is hot. So we thought that okay, we should try to do a process wherein medical devices business can be hived off into a separate business without affecting the tax structure to the company and of course ultimately to the stakeholders, to all the shareholders, so that we can always produce a value for both parties, for the company also and for the shareholder also. But here the issue is that we are trying to avoid the court process. But if we avoid the court process, then it's easy that it's an internal arrangement and we shift it. As far as the number is concerned, so the number is typically, it's just a number derived from a balance sheet. So that to avoid tax, so that we don't have to pay tax just because we shifted from one company to another, whenever that company creates some value. But now under the present structure, so we have also been able to rearrange the promoter holding in a way that as promoter company, because it's a valuable asset, we have to have a certain percentage of the stake. We cannot expect that okay, company to be at 30% holding by the promoter or 40% holding by the promoters. So our investors have been consistently asking us to raise your share. So we have been advised to in a certain pattern, so that before we go to the market, promoter shareholding should be at a certain comfort level, so that investors get a comfort at a broad thing. Similarly, on the Dr. Morpen brand or a Dr. Morpen subsidiary, here again Mr. Kejriwal, so as a company as a whole, like you said that, like I shared earlier, that I am an API company and then I'm a medical devices company. So as an API company, API company priority is R&D. Medical devices again, either it's an R&D priority or naturally it's a more of a diagnosis and customer focus. But OTC business is absolutely different, it's consumer focus. So OTC business needs more consumer attention, it is more going toward FMCG. And these days with online things coming up, with Instagram coming up, with different type of shopping coming up, so that's a different cup of tea. So there again, we were looking to buy out certain things, and of course the market cap was of the value of the company was small. So it was a, I would say, bitter pill to swallow, but we decided to do it in such a way that okay, the long-term value creation of this company will be much higher. Dr. Morpen is a company in last 25 years, it has not been able to create any value. We have been investing, and it still needs more investments. So if we are not as a company, we are not ready to invest then sometime we have to take a call, okay, we are not investing, we get a partner who is ready to invest, maybe bring in equity or bring in market capital, whatever way. So these are broad things, but within lines to lines, I think there are a lot of things which we work before giving any news to the market. And finally, I welcome you to this point that wherein you said the share price will be 500 rupees. I think let's all work towards that and make this company thrive. And particularly today when we are meeting on such a very spiritual and divine day, all your words are important and all your blessings are required. So I think with all, I think my questions are answered. Any other shareholder pending?
We have answered everything.
With this now, I would like to thank all the members for asking questions and sharing their thoughts on this virtual AGM. I have tried to address all the concerns of each speaker. If any missed out, then please connect the company secretary, and of course he had been very responsible through email. Now I am authorizing company secretary to conduct the voting process, please. As stated earlier by him, that e-voting shall remain open till 15 minutes after the conclusion of the AGM, and the results will be declared latest by 8th September, that's Monday. And I am thankful to all the members, directors, auditors who joined the meeting through video conferencing and their cooperation in the smooth conduct of the AGM. With your permission, I, along with the board of directors, management, members, would like to leave the meeting, and meeting is concluded. Thank you very much.
Dear members, thank you for us joining today. You can vote till 15 minutes from now if you not voted earlier. Thank you for your support and voting. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Shukrana. Thank you.